All right, so once you guys have collected all your data for your chromatography lab, now we're going to go through and see how to write it up. So it's kind of like baby steps. We're not going to do this for all your labs, anything near like this all your labs. But this is what we're looking for in terms of your write-up for your chromatography lab. So once again, this is due on the 2nd, which is next Friday. So October 2nd. Looking at it, yes, I want a title page. So give me a page that has just the title, Chromatography with a Flair. If you like that, give me that. If you can think of a better one or something that's a little bit more creative, knock yourself out. Name as well as the date down in the bottom corner. That would be great. If you want to put your class number, that would be even better. I know they all get sent to their individual classes, but as I go through them, sometimes I lose track and I don't know what class I'm in. So just put your name, class, and date. You'll do the date that it was done. So those of you who did it Thursday in class, today is the 24th. Those who did Friday in class or virtually, you would have 9/25. So I want the day that it was completed. Next page. Yes, I need subtitles. Otherwise, what happens is you guys just write me a giant paragraph and give me a problem, hypothesis, introduction, conclusion, and everything's in one paragraph, and I have to go hunt it down and find it. If that's the case, I probably will not pick the same things out that you do, and you'll probably lose points. So you need to put the word purpose or problem. That means the same thing. What will happen to the black dot when introduced to water? I also gave you one down here. If you like this one a little better, it's a little bit more scientific. How can the technique of chromatography be used to analyze a mixture of molecular solution? What will happen to the black dot when introduced to water and why? Tell me, either one. I don't care. Come up with something like that. What is my problem? You can copy and paste this one. You can do the one that's on the other sheet that you had there. Take your hypothesis. You already have one. Be bold. No, I think. No, I believe. Make sure it's a because statement. So I want to see the word problem or purpose and give me the problem. It's already stated for you. I want to see the word hypothesis, and I want your hypothesis listed. This part's already been done. You guys have this whole page done already. If there's still room on this page, which there is, you guys can continue it. I just split everything out so it's a little easier to see. Next, you guys are going to do your introduction. This is your background information. How did you come up with your hypothesis and why? In your introduction, you must include the following words in paragraph form. In other words, don't put 1, solute, 2, solvent, and then start defining them for me. Put them together in a paragraph explaining what's going on in the lab about what you know and utilizing the words so that I know you understand what they mean. Okay, so we talked about migration. For stationary matrix, matrix is fine. It's the same thing. Solvent front, solubility. If there's a different form of the word, I'm okay with that too, but make sure that you know what that word means. As you guys go through, highlight those words within that introduction. So this introduction is just not a sentence or two. Okay, tell me what's going on. What do you know about these particular words, about water, about solutions, and so on, that allowed you to come up with a hypothesis that you did. Now you have your data section. Why do I have my data section? Because I don't need a material list from you. I already gave one to you. I don't need a procedure. I already gave one to you. I don't need you to recopy it. Okay, so skip that. Don't make me pages with big X's on them that say material list and procedure. I don't need them. You are going from introduction right down to data. So your data, what's it going to look like? Well, you should have a data chart. That chart should include everything that we talked about in the last video that deals with everything that you pulled off that chromatography paper. It should include your chromatography paper. Okay, so show me a picture of that chromatography paper. If it's the one with the ruler next to it, great. If you're a virtual person and I sent you one, you just got to copy and paste it and put it within your diagram. That is your original paper that you guys have there. The rest of you guys either took pictures in class or I sent one home to you. Okay. There's a lot of stuff with data. So what else do you need? Besides your chart, you also need a graph. So yes, you need to make me a data chart. It should have a title. You need to make me a graph. You're graphing the information that's within that data chart. You have calculations that you did. I should see them, which means I should show the formula. I should show the work there. I need to include that. So this data is going to be one of the longer sections. Well, if you think about it, the only other thing that you've had to do so far is your introduction. Your purpose and your hypothesis were done. So big money points here: introduction, data, and conclusion. So make sure you have all of this stuff that you see here, your data chart, your graph. Make sure they have titles to them. Think about the XY axis. With your graphs, you can do them by hand and copy them in, put them into there with a photo, or you can use Google Sheets or whatever other method that you guys know how to do in order to create that graph. Okay, calculations, formulas, all that stuff. Now we get to our conclusion. So it says your conclusion is basically you're restating stuff and telling me why. So discussion, it's analyzing your data, you're comparing, you're comprehending. So first off, what happened and why? What happened to that chromatography paper and why? So basically you're kind of restating the problem that we're looking at. Was your hypothesis correct? Try to keep personal pronouns. There should be no personal pronouns within this particular activity. So as you guys go through it, keep yourself out of it. Okay, was the hypothesis correct? Yes, the hypothesis is correct. When the solvent, which was water, hit the solute, which was the flare marker, this is what happened. Looking at it, I can tell it can be seen which molecules are heavy, which ones are light. Blue had the heaviest molecular mass. It was closest to the origin with an RF value of blah, blah, blah. Whatever it may be. But you guys need to restate data in order to support your hypothesis. Was it correct? Was it not? Support with data. Why? What happened? Tell me about all the colors there. Don't just go, oh, well, blue did this. Well, there's a ton of colors probably on your particular sheet. Tell me about them. How did they move? Which are heavy? Which are light? How do you know this? You want qualitative as well as quantitative data. Analyze them. Compare them to each other. Tell me about those RF values in there. You have a lot of data that needs to be within that conclusion in order to support your hypothesis. You need to show this understanding of scientific concepts. Explain to me what really happened there. And anytime you guys do a conclusion within this class, you guys should kind of include some sort of real life use of the technique. So it does more than just, oh, let's separate out black flare markers. Don't go, oh, I'm going to take a little M&M and put the little shell, lick it, put it on the chromatography paper and spread it out to see the colors of my M&Ms. I don't want that one. Think in terms of science. This is where you might actually have to get on a computer, research it, and come up with a good scientific use, real life use of this technique. What I don't want in your conclusion is don't rewrite the intro. I don't need all these words back in. You're basically explaining that data and your hypothesis, was it right or not, and make sure that you're supporting it with both qualitative, descriptive data, and quantitative, which is your number data. Tell me what's going on with that data chart. Tell me what's going on with that graph. Okay, the bottom of this sheet, I don't think it's on the same one that you guys have on your thing, but it says toturnitin.com. We are not doing toturnitin.com. You're sending it right in through Google. There are originality reports on it, so it's going to kind of go through and check other papers along the way and make sure things are in your own words. So don't go, oh, I'm going to go online, I'm going to copy and paste this whole paragraph about solutes, solvents, and solutions, and so on, and put it right in there. Okay, that you should not do. Make sure things are in your own words. So once again, this is due on October 2nd. I want to say I put by noon on that particular day. This is a formal lab for you guys. It is worth some points. Let me know if you have questions on it anywhere along the line. Okay, I'll be happy to answer them. You want to sit down one day, we'll go through a Google Meet, and we'll go through some of the stuff that you see here. Okay?